what we are challenging is not the Gazette. It is an act of Parliament. The act has been passed. The act was assented to by the President. Gazetting, in our view, is merely an administrative procedure to bring the law to the attention of the public. But the act has been passed. It's been assented to by Parliament, by the President. What we are challenging are the provisions of the act.
And the passage.
Okay? And the passage of the act, the procedure used to pass the act. That's exactly what we're challenging. So nobody should worry about the Gazette.
You know, the filing of a petition in itself has no consequence. It's not a measure of protection. Once a law is passed and assented to by the President and gazetted, it's good law and it can be enforced. Now, the fact that you have filed a petition in itself is not a bar to the enforcement of the law. What we have done, however, is to seek injunctive reliefs. In legal speak, these are called interlocutory applications. We shall appear before courts and we apply that the operation of the law be halted or suspended for the period that we shall stay in court waiting the final determination of the petition.
I oppose this bill now and from the day it came to Parliament. First of all, because the reasons that are advanced, the propaganda that are advanced to justify them, tells me that the motives are sinister. For anybody to say that homosexuality is an alien attribute to Africa is a blatant lie. It's an absolute lie, even to the extent of some people claiming that homosexuality is not genetic. It is the height of scientific madness. Because if you are living, whether you are an insect or a human being, you are what you are because of the genes. That is the starting point. You are also what you are because of the environment. The food you eat will make you grow stunted in spite of the gene for giantness. So when they brought that argument, I was in primary, I knew of one young man who grew breasts and behaved like a girl. And in the village where there are no white people. Now, this law would fix him. If I know him, and I know that the law would fix him for being what he is because he was born that way. Even if he was only one, I would fight for his right. And it's not just one. There are many in our society. Secondly, let us end this argument that this is about the West and Africa. Because this particular bill is not African. This bill came from the West. It came from the United States of America. In Nigeria, the title of the law that they enacted is Anti Homosexuality Act, just like in Uganda. And nearly all the provisions are the same. They originate from one household, religious fundamentalism. And it's so absurd to hear Africans defending Christianity, which was brought from somewhere else. And you use it as a basis of saying, we are fighting against evil.
You know, I am not a coward. I am a free citizen. And I don't fear losing an election. I don't fear people raising legitimate issues for purposes of campaigns. There's only one thing I fear: living in a society that has no room for minorities. I don't want to live in that society. I will not, by the grace of God, live in a society that does not respect and protect people who are different from the majority. I don't want to. And that's what I stand for. And I'm going out to explain to my people, the people who elected me, that if you want to promote intolerance, you will never have my name on it. If you want to promote unfairness, I won't join you. But if you want us to live together in harmony, you will always count on me. So I'm not worried. I would rather lose the seat for West Budama North. I was not trained to be a politician. I'm a goddamn good advocate. I was still earn a living. I was still earn a living as an advocate. Just a word of caution, but also a very passionate plea. You know for a fact that we live in a very homophobic society. That recklessly, you photograph a person and publish in your papers that person as being homosexual, gay, lesbian. What is it you are doing? You're only putting him up for murder. Yeah. Yes. That is reckless, it's unfair, it's not called for. And we believe in the freedom of the press. I want freedom for everybody, but kindly refrain from setting up people for mob justice, for incrimination, and for prosecution.
So far, I don't, personally, I stay up country. Maybe things have already happened in respect to the police that I already know. But apart from the fact that earlier on, the law now can't even allow you to go to the police and say, I've been assaulted because I am a homosexual. Well, you'd be arrested instead. So obviously, the law even doesn't give you room to deal with the police at all. And that is the tragedy. You get victimized, and you can't go to the police because you will again get victimized.
And we've actually carried out research before about the police and enforcement of the then existing laws on homosexuality. Now they have become many more laws on homosexuality. But what we found out is that the police actually uses the law as a tool for so many things. And we summarize that as persecution of LGBT persons. Like you had there, no one has ever been convicted of the law, but every single day people are arrested for homosexuality. They are arrested and the police can never sustain those charges because the evidence required is that you have to find the two people in an act, in the action. Now, they find you walking on the street and just because they aren't sure of your sex, they arrest you. That's homosexuality in the police's view. And so if you give them a tool like this one, what are they going to use for now? We've documented over 10 cases of arrests in Kampala alone ever since that bill passed through Parliament. That was on 20th December 2013. Over 10 cases of arrests for sodomy. Now that doesn't exist in the law. For sodomy, promotion of homosexuality and homosexuality. And also counterage against the order of nature. That's both under the old law and the new law. So whether the police is actually trying to enforce this law, and in this way, they are violating the rights, the basic rights of the person, the basic rights of the LGBT persons. And all this evidence is actually on the court file again. We have shown evidence to that effect. Even the researches have been submitted that show how the police has been using the existing law and how they like to use this law because it's the same thing we are talking about. Though this is much, much broader because it even criminalizes even what we may be doing right now, maybe promotion of homosexuality, which is absurd. But that actually has a very vague definition of what promotion is. And this may be part of promotion.
What was there has been there since colonial times. Give me statistics of how many people were convicted in Uganda.
0.
Now, if there were no convictions, it means there was no crisis. So where does this crisis then emerge from? That you require even a more crazy law to help.
Everyone is spitting on us. brothers and sisters, discrimination should stop. Let's come together and fight this insanity, cause in the end, we will win.
There is hope, there is hope. Don't despair because there is hope.
We shall overcome, we shall overcome this phobia they have towards us.
If we come together and fight for our rights, we shall overcome, cause there is hope.
But dear comrades, never give up the fight.
Don't give up the fight.
Never lose faith in what you've got.
Lose the hope.
Fight and fight for what belongs to you. I will continue on. Then we realize we are here to stay.
We're here to stay.
And we are never going back.
No, no, no.
We're growing stronger each and every moment. Yeah, there is hope.
There is hope, there is hope. Don't despair because there is hope.
We shall overcome, we shall overcome.
This phobia they have towards us.
If we come together and fight for our rights, we shall overcome, cause there is hope.
Yo, listen to me now, cause you know I got hope. See what I do, I ain't never gonna stop. I let nobody pull me with a rope. If you're trying to put me down, oh, I